I've been sitting here and I've been thinking, everybody seems to want to, have the same storyline, right? It seems to be like everyone just wants to, I don't know, go to school, get the job, you know, go to university or college, all that other garbage, and get your job, have kids, buy a house, or whichever order you want to do that in. And to me, I just find that that just seems like a life of fucking misery, right? I guess maybe this opinion might, you know, annoy a few people. I don't mean to hurt feelings, but I just don't see why I would ever want to be in that position. First of all, buying houses is for rich people. If you are broke and trying to buy a house, then you're probably just going to be in a worse off financial position. You're going to be more stressed. You're going to be stuck in your job. You're going to be more broke. And I just think that's absolutely miserable. But then you got to add a kid on top of that to be even more broke, and a couple of car loans to be even more broke. And I just don't understand. Like, why would anybody want to put themselves into that situation, into that position, especially when you don't already have any money? I think it's kind of selfish, especially for the kid. Because let's be real, like, most of the time, they're probably not going to leave anything for their kids, anyways. Because the reality is that it's very hard to get out of the hole, right? You know, that you bury yourself in. It's very hard to get yourself out of the hole. I just don't understand. Why would anybody want to have kids in this economy? I don't get it. I don't. I guess me growing up, I never ever considered that I'd want kids, and I still don't. And I would keep getting told, oh, one day you'll change your mind, or one day you will, you're going to want to have kids. I don't know, maybe. But I can't think of anything like worse at this current time that I'm in. I can't think of anything worse than having kids, especially it's like, why would you have kids if you don't have a stable environment to live? Like, what are you going to do? Are you going to, take your kids every time you got to move every single year because, housing is just, it's not reliable, right? It's like you want to take them to your next share house and to your next share house after that. Like, you want to raise a kid in a share house, or like, it's like, good luck, man. Like, and that's not really fair on the kid. I've always said to myself, like, if I was ever going to even consider having kids, I would want to be making at least like, I don't know, 10 grand a month after tax. And even then, that's still going to be barely enough. Like, let's be realistic. And people are going to be like, oh, that's really unrealistic. Oh, 10K a month, so unrealistic. Oh, it's not really. It's not, if you think about it. It's actually not unrealistic. Depends on the way you think, I suppose, the way that you view money. And I mean, to me, I think that 10K a month is definitely obtainable if you put in the right amount of work. And I guess the smart aspect of it. I mean, but I guess, I mean, for the average mindset, people are probably, never going to achieve such numbers. So I guess in the general sense, it could be viewed as unrealistic. But even still, like I said, I wouldn't even consider having kids unless I was making like 10 grand a month after tax. If you invest your money in the right places, then it's absolutely possible. But I mean, even then, I still don't want kids, man. I can't think of anything worse, like the screaming and the crying and the high pitched like yells, which specifically seems to come more so from like little boys. Like they always scream like little girls, man. It's like the fucking noise just absolutely drives me crazy because I'm just very like hypersensitive to like noise. Noise just infuriates me. Like it's sometimes a noise will annoy me one day and then the next day I won't even notice it. Like dogs barking. I absolutely fucking hate dogs barking. Sometimes I hear the dogs barking, it drives me absolutely crazy. And sometimes I don't even care. So it just depends on the day and the time. But kids, man, that's like a 24/7 responsibility. And it's like people think that, oh yeah, well, I'm broke and I'm miserable, so maybe if I just have kids, maybe that'll fix my problems and fix my depression or like fix my drug problems. No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't. Most of the time, it really doesn't. You just end up with a fucked up family and a fucked up kid. And, they're the ones who have to bear it. Then your bad habits end up getting passed down to them. All the drug problems and the smoking, because, you're raising them around cigarettes. So they pick up on it and then they become smokers and they become drug addicts. And pretty much they just mimic, the parents. And social media is so fucking toxic and disgusting for the most part. I mostly I used to like go on TikTok all the time, for example. I don't go on TikTok anymore. I barely ever check it. Like sometimes, maybe a couple times a month, I might, have a scroll and I'm absolutely fucking bored. But I refuse to really go on there anymore. It's a toxic, really is a disgusting platform to be on. And for the most part, like it just spreads like really the wrong types of messages. I fully support TikTok being banned, to be honest. I wish it would get banned everywhere. It's an awful platform. So much degeneracy on there. I really don't like it. It breeds insecurities as well. It breeds body image issues, like dysmorphia in a sense. And people are just, I don't know, they take everything so seriously that they see on the internet, which is kind of crazy. And then they, share their unwarranted opinions, just like myself. Everyone has an opinion. I found plenty of opinions on the other video that I posted, which, mind you, did pretty well, that video. I actually got a decent amount of ad revenue from that video too. It was pretty nice. I should post more often, but like I said, I don't want to be like, I want to be authentic, you know what I mean? Like, I don't want to just post garbage. I mean, then again, it depends on what you view as garbage. I mean, this could be garbage to you. That's fine. I don't really give a shit anyways. But you know what I mean? I just want to, I don't want to like force out content or force out, whatever you want to call it. I almost kind of hate the word content. I hate the word influencer. I would never want to ever be regarded as an influencer. I hate the word. It disgusts me. I'm just a person. That's all I see myself as. I'm just a person. I'm alive and I'll be dead. And that's all there is to it. There's literally nothing more than that. And I just don't understand, like, it doesn't really matter the amount of, I guess, the amount of views you get or the amount of subscribers you have. In the end of the day, you're just a fucking person. And your shit stinks the same way as anyone else, man. You know what I mean? That's why I like personally, like, if I ever see someone famous, like, I really wouldn't give a shit, dude. I'll be honest. Like, maybe that's the Australian mindset. Maybe it's the Aussie thing. Like, we just don't really give a shit about people who are famous. You see them walking around, or like, we don't give a shit. Because to us, it's like, you're just a human, right? Why the fuck should I glaze you just because you're famous? Like, I can't think of anything more pathetic than people that glaze like other people just because they got like subscribers or fame or like, because they're an actor or a singer. Like, People just glaze them so hard, like they're a god, man. Like they're perfect, and I don't see them as anything more than a human. You know what I mean? Like they're just a fucking person. I don't give a shit how famous you are or how highly you think of yourself. Like you're just a human to me. You know what I mean? And that's all you'll ever be in my eyes. And just because you've got some, a bit of fucking clout, like, doesn't mean you deserve my respect. You want my respect, you can earn it, just like anyone else. And vice versa, right? But yeah, I really hate the word influencer. I really hate that fucking word. It's just got a bad smell to it now. Because every time I think of influencers, influencers, like what are they really influencing? You know, they don't influence anything good for the most part. It's all just clowning. It's all clowning, isn't it? Really, it's just a bunch of fucking clowns, and the social media is just literally the circus in which they, dance around in. It's literally like Andrew Tate says. It's a clown world. It really is. It's a clown world. Fucking sad, dude. Yeah, maybe I'm a bit of a doomer or whatever you want to call them. But I mean, it's just a reality, man. I guess people just don't like reality. So, you know, so they have a name for it. Oh, you're a doomer. Oh, you're depressed. Oh, you're this or you're that. No, I'm not fucking depressed, dude. I'm not depressed. I just see things for the way they are. What's wrong with that? What's so fucking wrong about that, right? Seeing things for the way they are. Like it's like that's meant to be a problem. But like honestly, a problem to me is like having kids when you're broke, dude. Why the fuck would you? Why would you put yourself in a worse off financial position? Why would you go and get yourself a car loan? Why would you want to like spend $1,000 a month on a car loan when you're barely scraping by on 4K? And then you got your cost of like your rent and your living and your food and everything else. I went to the Woolworths the other day, or Safeway. I still think of it as Safeway. I went to Safeway the other day and I bought a bag of like groceries. I got like a couple of yogurts, a couple bags of chips, a couple of dips, milk, a couple of coffee for my mate. Because I went and visited my mother in the country. It was nice. But that bag of groceries cost me $77. Mind you, I did add a HDMI cable into it. That was like $22 or $18 or $22. I can't remember. But how ridiculous is that? I barely filled up a bag and it cost me $77. Like, that's so disgusting. And there's like, people want to have kids, yet they don't even have their own house. And they'd have a shitty job. Or they don't have a stable relationship. Or they like living in a fucking share house, or they're renting. Yeah, good luck renting and trying to have a kid. Like, I don't know about you, but I found that it's like barely possible to keep a house for more than like 2 years before you have to move because like, landlords want to jack the prices up. So what are you going to do? What are you going to have kids living in a fucking rental and then moving every 2 years? How's that fair for the kid? That's like such a lack of stability. Also, what, are you going to live in a van? How can you raise a kid in a van? Good luck with that. Kids need space. Kids need room. But in general, fuck having kids. And I think the birth rates are going down. It's honestly not surprising. Who wants to have kids in today's economy? Who would want to? I guess only stupid people want to do that. Sorry if that offends you, but I think it's pretty stupid if you're broke and trying to have kids. Maybe that's an unpopular opinion, but it's the truth. It's not fair on the kid. But yeah, man. Yeah. What was I saying? I forgot. Can't remember. Yeah, unpopular opinion, I guess. By the way, I got a haircut. How good does it look? 1 fucking month later. Not bad, huh? Not bad. $70. Oh yeah, man. The speds in the comments being like, oh, well, $70 is so expensive. But, you know, they fail to understand that, like, I get a haircut like maybe once every 3 or 4 months, and you're acting like $70 is expensive. Meanwhile, you go and you get your, like, fucking $30 haircut every time you get your haircut. $20, $30 every month or every 2 weeks if you want to keep a fade. And you're telling me that my haircut's expensive? Fuck off. No, it's not. Your haircuts are expensive. Your frequent haircuts are expensive. You need to learn to, like, do some dollar cost average. Learn a bit about how it works before you make stupid comments. It's dumb. Makes you look stupid. I'm sorry, but I'm not sorry. It does. It really makes you look stupid. I don't know why. I don't know why people feel the need to, you know, tell everyone else how to live their lives. Then again, maybe I'm a hypocrite. This video kind of makes me a bit of a hypocrite, maybe. Now, this is an opinion. I'm not telling you that you can't have kids if you're broke. I'm just telling you that if you have kids and you're broke, you're an idiot. That's my opinion. I'm not saying don't do it. You know, if you think that makes you happy, go and, you know, do that. But I'm telling you, you're going to be more stressed, more financially burdened, and you're going to probably have more arguments, and someone will probably end up a single mother because, you know, money always ends relationships. If you're bad with money, if you have shitty finances, that's usually the main reason I think, like, relationships end, right? It's just kind of the truth. You ever date someone? It's always fighting about money, man. Trust me. It's just the way it is. That's another thing. Relationships, man. God. I just don't see the point. I don't see the point. God damn it, I don't see the point. These are good. Blitz from Aldi. I actually really like them. So I'm going to have one now. I'm not in a bad mood, by the way. I'm in a good mood. Despite my poker face. Actually, in all honesty, I'm not really a laughy, happy person. This is how I am. I'm serious. I'm always a serious person. I'm an angry fucking person too. I'm happy, but I'm snappy. Does that make sense? Like, I hate dumb shit. I hate people acting dumb. I hate dumb things that people say. That shit fucking annoys me. You know, when I was growing up and I'd go to school, I used to hang around with the kids and stuff. Well, when I was a kid, I'd hang out with the other kids and stuff like that. And they'd always be saying, like, the dumbest shit. You know, like those typical conversations that kids have where they're just like, oh man, like, oh, I did this the other day, and, you know, imagine if this was like this, or blah, blah, blah. Oh, just imagine that. Oh. I'm just thinking to myself, like, as a kid, I'm just thinking, like, this is the dumbest fucking shit ever. I don't want to fucking talk about this. I don't want to hear this shit. I don't care to hear this shit. So I wouldn't really talk to other kids much. I just didn't want to listen to the dumb shit that they had to say. I found it fucking irritating. And for the most part, I actually find people very fucking irritating. It's the truth. I can't deny it. I'm a friendly person, don't get me wrong. But I hate bullshit. I hate stupid people. I hate people that act dumb. Especially those people. The people that act dumb fucking annoy me. I cannot stand that shit. People that act like they can't do something, yet they refuse to put the time in to fucking learn or take the effort to at least give it a try. I hate people like that. They do my head in. And I feel like that's sadly a majority of people. I breeze through things, man. I breeze through things. I figure things out exceptionally fast, especially things I'm interested in. I'm very good at, solving problems. And I find that most people seem to not be. And I also hate how people half-ass shit. For example, I hate that people don't go through the process properly. Let's just use a paint job for an example. Generally, you need to do good prep. That means you need to sand shit down properly with multiple levels of grit, working your way up, adding the primer, re-sanding it with a higher grit, like 400, doing your base coat. After you do your base coat, you might, sand it down a little bit again, and then you'll chuck your clear coat on. Then you'll wait for it to cure, and then you'll sand it down again. Now, that's probably completely wrong, but that's my understanding of a paint job. I hate that people will do something like they might just give it maybe a rough scruff, if that. Most cases it's not. Usually, typically what they do is they'll wash it and then they'll paint it straight across the top of the paint. Complete half-ass job. Lazy as fuck. No effort. No pride in their work. No pride in anything. And I fucking can't stand that shit. I hate that shit. It just drives me insane. It's like this thing inside of me that feels like I'm ripping apart when I watch it happen, and I just want to tear them a new asshole. But I can't, because then I'm mean. I'm the mean guy. Of course, I'm the mean guy. But sometimes you can't be the mean guy. If you want to keep your friends, you can't be the mean guy. And meanwhile, that shit's just irritating the shit out of me on the inside. Like, I'm struggling. I'm doing my best to just, you know what I mean? I need to go zen, right? And I hate that shit. I hate when people do shit like that. I hate hearing the same conversations every single fucking day, in and out. Same shit. I hate that shit. So yeah, you can call me Mr. Negative or a pessimist or whatever you want, but this is me. This is me, dude. This is me. This is how I am. I hate a lot of shit. I like expressing how much I hate a lot of shit. And yeah, I'm not a happy, smiley person. And that doesn't make me depressed. That just makes me me. That is how I am. And yeah, that's that. I just wanted to share that. God, it feels good to share that. Weirdly feels good to share that. And truthfully, the reason I haven't posted a video in the last month is because I haven't had anything that I wanted to talk about. Frankly, I don't even know what makes these videos pop. Haven't figured it out yet. Perhaps it's been unapologetically authentic. I don't know. But I don't know. I think people just love they just love happiness. I mean, I like happiness, but I don't like to fake. I really hate faking things. Does that make sense? I really hate faking things. I really don't like that at all. Yeah. I hate fake people. I hate people that think they're too good for other people just because they have more than other people. But I get it. I get why rich people wouldn't want to hang around broke people. Totally understand that. Even as somebody who doesn't have much money, I totally get why rich people don't want to hang out with broke people. And again, just makes a lot of sense because I actually saw a video I was watching the other day, ironically, of Andrew Tate. And he's talking about why rich people don't want to hang around with broke people. He's like, hang around broke people, get robbed. Hang around broke people, it's like, I'm just like thinking to myself, you know what? You're 100% fucking right. It's true. It's so true. You do get robbed when you hang around with broke people or in broke areas, broke neighborhoods. It's so true, man. It's crazy, man. It's crazy. I'm not saying all broke people are bad. Of course, there's like people who don't have money and have integrity. I respect those people a lot. I don't have money, and I think I have integrity. But it would be such a lie for me to sit here and say that I would never want to be filthy fucking rich. Of course I do. I'd love to be filthy fucking rich. Absolutely. I would rather be filthy fucking rich than broke. Honestly. Less stress. Got the bills coming, who cares? It's just a bill. Parking ticket, who cares? $80, who cares? You know what I mean? Whereas most people, like, we have to worry about that shit. Got a parking ticket, oh, that's fucked my month. You know? No, got to renew my passport. Oh, that sucks. That fucked my month. You know what I mean? It's always some, like, small, mediocre bill that, you know, it's not a lot, but it's enough to ruin your day. But at least if you're rich, or you have a significant amount more money where you don't have to worry about those things, at least that wouldn't ruin your day. At least you would go to the grocery store and you wouldn't have to look at the prices. Because you know what? Who cares that the cost of bread's like $5 a loaf? Oh, I can't afford bread. Huh? No, you don't have to worry about that shit because you would have more money. And so anyone that says that money doesn't bring happiness, yes, it fucking does. Of course it does. Stop coping. It's such a cope, man. Sit there and pretend that money doesn't bring you happiness. Of course it fucking does. I think that's a cope. It's probably the biggest cope that, you know, people without money come up with. Well, I don't need that, or I don't need this. I don't need this to be happy. Oh, I don't need a fancy house or a fancy car or this or that. Well, it's not that you don't need it. It's that, but let's be honest, who wouldn't want it? Like, realistically speaking, like, who wouldn't want it? I would rather, like, drive around in a nice new fucking car. Fuck yeah, dude. Why wouldn't I? I would rather live in a nice fucking fancy house that I own. Of course I would. Why wouldn't I? And to sit there and say that I wouldn't it's a cope. But would I want to invest in a house with my current state of finances? Fuck no, because it wouldn't be a wise decision for me right now. If I had a lot more money, of course I would. Why wouldn't I? If I had a lot more money and I could afford a mortgage and still have a lot of play money left over, why wouldn't I do that? You know, that would be smart. But for the most part, man, if you're sitting there and you're like counting your pennies every week for the grocery store and you're trying to buy a house, I promise you, you're gonna be a lot more miserable. You're gonna be a lot more financially burdened, and you're gonna be trapped. And that's the worst feeling ever, in my opinion. Being trapped, being stuck in a job that you hate or that you have to be in because if you don't, you'll lose the house or you'll lose the car. You know, honestly, the best thing you can do, in my opinion, if you have no money is just stay the fuck away from loans. And that's one thing I don't understand is why people have less money, why the fuck would you want to go near a loan? Why would you want to go and get a car loan even if it costs 500 a month? That's still ridiculous. Because you got to factor in the cost of all your other shit, right? Why would anybody want to have a car loan? I don't understand. To me, that seems like one of the dumbest things you can do. I've never had a loan for a car, and I never want to have a loan for a car unless it's a tax write off. Okay? And secondly, I wouldn't go and get a fucking house if I'm only making like, you know, 90K a year. Even that's not enough to buy a house in like Melbourne these days, but I still wouldn't want to invest in a house on a low wage. It financially doesn't make sense. I'm better off to go and buy Bitcoin. No, like honestly, I did some math, and honestly, like, goddamn, bro, like the best thing, in my opinion, the best thing, and this ain't financial advice by any fucking means at all. But what I would do if I had a lot more money on me right now, I would shove it all into Bitcoin, and I would just hold it, and I would just leave it alone, and I just wouldn't look at it because I sure as hell I won't be making any money leaving it in the bank. Okay, you don't make money leaving your money in the bank, even if you think you're going to make money on your little bit of interest. You don't make money on that because you got the rates like of inflation, and then, dude, it's just such a bullshit. Like, if you think leaving your money in a long-term savings account is going to benefit you in any way, you're absolutely wrong. It's one of the dumbest things you can do. You're better off to put it into Bitcoin, dude. Like, I'm sorry, but anyone that thinks that Bitcoin is going anywhere is just so delusional, man. It's so delusional. Like, it's here to stay, and that's that. Okay, I'm sorry, but it is. It's here to stay, and you know what? There's been a lot of naysayers over the last like 2 decades, but it's here to stay, man. Like even just putting in like $100 a week, man, and just doing like averaging over time because look, you won't make as much if putting $100 a week, but like long term you'll make a much better amount in my opinion. But you know, it helps to even out the ups and downs because one week it might be like, you know, 10% up, and then the next week it could be 20% down. So it's like, you're not really stuck buying at the top, and you can buy it at the bottom at the same time. So it's good, but you just don't make as much because it's like, so if you put a big sum of money, like say you put in like 50 grand, and it goes up 20% the next week, then you've made a lot more than you would putting 50 grand, maybe over time in a sense. But I mean, it just depends on your level of risk that you're willing to take. High risk, high reward, but also high chance for failure. But I think for Bitcoin though, I think it's stable. I don't think it's going to go anywhere. I think it's kind of like gold. I think Bitcoin, it will be a very good choice. And I think that a lot of young people, especially as all the boomers pass their generational wealth down, as the wealth has passed down, I do believe that younger people are going to be, flooding more into crypto, like they already are. And I think that eventually the crypto market will take over the stock market, man. I think like companies will start moving their shit over to crypto as well. And I think they already are. And so I think that, over time, I think it's honestly a surefire thing. I think that I think that's the best investment you can make. I wish I bought it back in like 2015. When I was looking at it, it was like 2015, 2016, it was like fucking 200. I was looking at it, it was like 250. Should have bought some, dude. I didn't because I'm an idiot, but it's all good. Yeah, just putting little bits in here and there, and just let it grow, man. Let it grow over time. You probably get a lot more out of that than you would buying a property these days. And then when you make your money, like when you're really making money, I think that's when you can buy property. That's when you can start, keeping it in houses. I think that's smart. But buying a house when you're like broke and you're barely getting by as it is, not smart. Not smart at all. It becomes a burden. It just becomes something that will just hold you down and trap you and suffocate you. And yeah, it's quite claustrophobic in a sense. But yeah, what have I been up to for the last month, huh? It's probably the one begging question that some of you may have. No, I'm not dead, obviously. I have been doing a lot of stuff on the cars. I got the gold car roadworthied. I got it registered. I installed a sound system, like a fucking pretty good sound system. I'm not gonna lie. I love sound. I like speakers. I like clarity. So I got a set of Alpine S65s. They're coaxial speakers. I got them from the car yard for $150. I got 4 of them. I chucked them in. Yes, I do know that I want to do components for the front, and that is the plan. When a pair of components pop up that are cheap enough, I will grab them. Chucked in a $75 Alpine amp and a like an 8-year-old Kicker Kicker Comp R subwoofer with a separate Alpine mono amp for the subwoofer that I got for free from a mate. And yeah, that's pretty much what I've been up to. I completely sound deadened the car. I did the roof. I did inside the rear quarter panels. I did the front doors. I did the rear parcel shelf and then I made custom cutouts to fit 6x9s. But then I did something stupid and I forgot to remove the speaker from underneath in the boot, and then I cut the metal, and then I got fucking metal in the speaker cone. Those were Kicker speakers, like CS speakers. They're pretty good. I regret doing that. I learnt my lesson. I won't do that again. But luckily, I had the set of Alpines anyways, so that's not an issue. So yeah, I had a custom 6x9 cutout that I created and cut out the rear parcel shelf, fitted everything in, only to realize that I fucked one of my speakers, and then I ended up having to create 6.5 inch cutouts for those speakers. And yeah, fit that all up, no problems. And sounds really good. The 6x9s would have been good, but considering I got a subwoofer, doesn't really matter. But yeah, so that's what I've been up to. And yep. I'm gonna end the video here. And yeah, it's pretty good, pretty fun. Nice chat. I've already forgotten everything that I've spoken about, but yeah, that's what I've been up to.